Last week, the Bureau of Land Management held an informational open house as a part of an ongoing public comment period for the supplemental environment impact statement concerning the reexamination of the approval of the Northern Corridor right-of-way. Originally approved in early 2021 under the Trump administration, the right-of-way for the Northern Corridor is proposed to connect Washington Parkway to Red Hills Parkway with a route that cuts through a part of the Red Cliffs National Conservation Area. State and local officials say the road is a critical part of future transportation infrastructure for Washington County, while opponents say it will negatively impact the Mojave Desert tortoise and its habitat within the conservation area. Soon after the approval of the right-of-way through the conservation area, conservation groups sued the federal government over the decision and argued that the BLM and U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service did not follow proper procedure when approving the roadway or adequately address certain issues like wildfires and their impacts on the area. The case eventually settled with a judge ordering the BLM and Fish and Wildlife Service to revisit the original study that approved of the right-of-way and conduct a new one addressing wildfires and other issues considered lacking in the original. Gloria Tibbetts, the director of the BLM's Color Country District, spoke more about this aspect of the supplemental study during the June 4th open house event.
So one of the resources that we were asked to take a hard look at, again, is the impact of wildfire, the resulting change to the vegetation communities. Primarily, it removes the native desert vegetation that was relatively less frequent wildfire occurrence, and then it replaces it with more of an annual grass or other species that see fire more frequently. And so part of our analysis looks at wildfire, the trend of that changing vegetation, and the impact that that has on habitat for many species, including the Mojave Desert tortoise.
According to the supplemental study, building the roadway will invite the possibility of igniting more fires within the Red Cliffs National Conservation Area, and due to this and a number of other factors, those fires are expected to burn faster, hotter, and larger than ones previously experienced across the area. Conserve Southwest Utah's executive director, Holly Snow Canada, said this is another reason why the Northern Corridor should not be built.
They make it very clear that the Northern Corridor highway route if it's put through Red Cliffs National Conservation Area, it would lead to increased fire frequency, lead to more devastating fires, hotter and faster burning fires. It would increase the invasive species. It would impact more Mojave Desert tortoise. And it would impact a lot of the recreation and trails that so many of us in St. George area enjoy.
Conservationists are not the only ones who are worried about the fire issue. Washington City residents, like Linda Thornell, who lives in the Green Springs area next to the Red Cliff Desert Reserve, saw her home threatened during the Turkey Farm Road fire of 2020.
And it was so scary. We were ready to evacuate. I put everything in the car, got my parents that live a few houses up, got them all ready to evacuate because it was coming close. And with this road, we're going to have an increase in potential fires, not only from maybe chains dragging, cars, and that area is just a fire keg right now with the cheatgrass and everything there.
Showing support for the Northern Corridor during the open house was Washington County Commissioner Adam Snow. He called the original approval of the roadway an all-around win for everyone involved until it was derailed by the conservationist lawsuit.
This was a win-win-win for all parties involved, right? This is a decision that was made 4 years ago. We went through the environmental impact statement. We went through NEPA, or the National Environmental Policy Act. We went through all of the steps that the federal law requires. And the record of decision said, yes, this is a good deal for the tortoise, which is a threatened species. This is a good deal for recreation. This is a good deal for transportation. It balances all of those interests and allows us to build the road, something that Congress designated in 2009. But it allows us to finally do that. What happened was after that, one of the groups didn't think that it should be a win-win-win, in my opinion. So some fringe groups decided to sue on this, and they were able to get the federal government to take another look at it, or a supplemental EIS, where we already did the EIS, and to say you've got to relook at a couple of issues because we don't think you analyze them fully, which is really code for pull back the road because we don't like the road.
In response to the potential disapproval of the Northern Corridor right-of-way, Washington County recently announced its intent to sue the federal government over an alleged violation of policy related to habitat conservation plans. The public comment period for the supplemental study runs through June 24th. To learn more and how to comment on the study, read the story. This is Mori Kessler reporting for St. George News, your #1 source for local news.